Planet of the Fakes 4 Families, and Pigstar HH News. Body cam footage of a routine traffic stop turns into an intense standoff between an officer and a mother. The cop purposely made things worse. The cop could have found out if the driver was on probation or had any warrants without asking the driver. So the cop asked to get a reaction, and got what was expected. The mother was afraid and also made things bad. The driver have the right to not self-incriminate. All he had to do was provide driver's license, and that is it. Didn't have to answer any other questions. The police officer could have acted differently. Some cops, not all, love to do that and create more problems. I don't endorse BLM, but it seems that many police departments are not correcting this problem they have, and things are going to get worse. There is a reason why minorities don't trust the police. I know, I have some experience. The female officer explained to no avail that if the son had remained in his car as he should have, she would have given him a ticket and been gone in no time. The mother is 100% wrong for escalating the situation into a clusterfuck number. At Steve Walker, maybe, who knows what the officer was going to do. I can only go by what I saw from everyone. The officer, like I said before, could have found out about the driver by using the information that was provided with the driver's licensee. The officer is the professional here and was acting on ego. The driver, by what I could see, was a mama's boy, and right or wrong was scared. Yes, many get scared by cops. The mother, you are partially right. Yes, she escalated things by being a mama bear, but she clearly doesn't trust the police officer. Felix J. Figueroa doesn't mean that the officer wasn't going to get ambushed if she had gotten in her car to run his license. Thinking face two-way street, and that mother taught her son to disrespect law enforcement and authority. It won't bode him well. An amused face, frowning face Felix J. Figueroa, because the kid drove 2 blocks from where he ran the stop sign and jumped out of the car and started running to his house. When the officer told him to stop, that's when his mother, who taught him not to obey an officer and have respect, butted in. Kathy Claus, who was going to get ambushed. So what makes you think that? Is it that the driver and everyone involved are black? Because that is what the mama bear and mama's boy might think. That the officer, because is white, it might shoot them. But that is why officers park at a safe distance, so it creates some safety. But why the officer, if in fear to be ambushed, is not putting a barrier in between in case of such a thing occur? The car at a safe distance will be a good place, don't you think? Was the mother disrespectful or afraid? I have no idea. Have you been in that situation? The mom was mad, and I think is because the question if her son was on probation or had any warrants. It seems that disrespectful mom was very proud of her college son, and in her mind how a police officer, who doesn't know her son, asks such of a question. Respect, like you said, is a two-way street. Being a police officer, does it gives the right to show ego, and disrespect? You call it disrespect, the mom and son call it stand my ground, we have dignity. How someone running a red light will imply he or she have warrants? The mother escalated this situation. She had no business in this. It would have been over in a few minutes if you say yes, sir, and take responsibility for your own actions. She taught nothing to her son by her example. If she had shown some respect herself, she would have taught her son more. She could observe and video quietly and accomplished much more for the safety of her son. Donna Reinhardt Jackson lol, you would be there too if your kid got pulled over, and it was like that. You must be a cop lol. Ryan Osmond, my son probably would have told me to go back in the house. That I was only going to make it worse. I'm not a cop. Wouldn't want to be one. Sorry to say, all were at issue. Be respectful of the officer. If the officer ignores the mother's overprotectiveness / rants, and would have just run the insurance / license stuff, issued the ticket, or given a warning instead of calling for backup, this wouldn't have escalated. But all involved, it appears, had an I'm being wronged mentally, and I'm going to show the other who's the boss. The female officer explained to no avail that if the son had remained in his car as he should have, she would have given him a ticket and been gone in no time. The mother is 100% wrong for escalating the situation into a clusterfuck number. At Jonathan, Florida, yes, it's the officer's fault for the loudmouth disrespectfulness. Face with rolling eyes Richard James Jr. Why would you blame the officer? She is just doing her job, but probably could have used a different approach to de-escalating the issue. I respect officers, heck, I wouldn't be able to tolerate things like this all day. Jonathan, Florida, I am not saying it was the officer. It was sarcasm. I misread your comment. My bad, Richard James Jr. No problem. My father was in the military, officer, and prison guard, but all sometimes could use a dose of patience, and most mothers do protect their kids, sometimes not for the better. I understand that is her child, no matter how old he is, but she needs to be quiet, and let her son deal with it respectfully. She made this a race issue. Right now is really hard time for the police and the public. So do what you are asked to do peacefully without running your suck, get it over with and get it done. I'm white and 58, and when I was stopped for no front license plate, that was the first question, are you on probation, and I'm not in a city. You wonder why things get out of hand. 1. Let the 19-year-old man speak for himself. 2. People lie all the time to cops when asked probation or parole. 3. The mom was being loud and aggressive, not the cop. I could go on with training of police. I lost a friend of 31 years because of this video. She posted it and asked, who escalated the situation? I said the mother did. And the son by not obeying the law. Haven't spoke to her since, and we don't even know these people. Crazy times we live in, it's all about complying. This mother is completely belligerent and provoking the officer by not letting her son, a supposed adult, from answering any word. If he would have only answered for himself, this problem never would have escalated. Glad there is body cam video of what really happened. This mother was verbally aggressive to the police officer. When people start to gather after a traffic stop, it can be a dangerous situation, and the officer did the right thing calling for backup. That woman is not teaching her son anything good. If a police officer stops you, stay in the car as the officer told him to do. Don't answer back, take the ticket, and she would have been on her way. If you don't teach your kids to respect the law, they are doomed to a sad life, no matter what their education level is. Thank you very much. Go to www.